Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're interested in seeing how I made this dress out of 2 button-down shirts, then I hope you keep watching. Here are the 2 shirts I'm going to be using to make the dress. This one is a J. Crew shirt in a size extra large, and this one is an H&M shirt in a size large. So this is going to be the top part. I already marked where I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut that off. I'm also going to cut off the sleeves because I'm going to use this shirt for the sleeves. So I'll just do those cuts first. 4 buttons down, I'm going to cut the shirt off right here. Now I'm going to cut the sleeves off of this shirt, and then I'm also going to cut off a nice section so that I can attach a piece of the shirt here, and then I'll bring another piece of this back in and attach this underneath so it can be like a back and forth pattern. So for this top part, I am going to take the sides in a little bit because of course this is a size large. I'm going to flip it inside out, do right sides together, and then just sew a straight stitch down here, and same on the other side. And then this one has a pocket here. This shirt does not have a pocket. So I'm going to remove the pocket from here. Just going to use my seam ripper to detach the pocket. And I'm going to attach that to this shirt, and I'm going to cut it right underneath here. So this part here is going to be the bottom of the dress. This top part is going to be that middle section that's going to be sewed under here. So this is the shirt with the 2 panels, with the 3 panels pinned on. This is it open, and this is the back panel and the front side panel and the other front side panel. So as I knew I would need to fill in the gap on the sides there that was created, so I'm going to use this neck portion, just the upper part of this shirt. I'm going to cut the collar part off right at the line. And then what I'm left with is that the upper back portion of the shirt, which is double layered. So I'm just gonna cut open those 2 layers. And then I'm left with this. So I'm gonna of course cut this apart. And these are going to be the 2 strips that I sew into the 2 spaces here. So I'm just going to cut this in half. And I'm going to sew 1 strip in here and the other in here. So I'm going to attach these with a straight stitch that way. And then once I attach these strips going this way, I'm going to attach everything going across this way, so these 2 pieces are connected. what it looks like on the other side. Once it's all sewed, this is pretty much what it's going to look like. The side panels are connected, so now I'm just going to make the straight line stitch going this way. I'm gonna cut off one of these buttons. I'm gonna line up this button with this one here so I know exactly how much space I want in between the two buttons. Place it on top of this button here and then leave a little bit of space just to guess as far as the stitching. So it's probably going to be about 2 lines. So I'm going to cut down right at the bottom of this line right here. And I'm going to cut all of that off. And then the next thing I'm going to do is pin this to the bottom here where I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to sew it. And this is the part right here. I decided to just let this be the folded or pleated area. And I'm just going to pin that down. I'm going to make sure to repeat this pleat on the other side in the same place. Alright, so here is where the pleat was sewn on this side. And here it is on this side. When I tried it on, I don't like how the material kind of sticks up, specifically on the left side. So I'm going to sew this down flat like that, like a dart. I'm going to iron it in first, and wherever it stops, that's where the dart is going to end. And now I'm just going to attach the bottom piece. This is the last one, and then it'll be finished. So I was going to fold over the bottom and let it be one level, but I'm just gonna leave it as is, so it has the, you know, the little swoop down just like a regular shirt would have, and I'm gonna leave that just like that. So I'm gonna attach this piece and then I'll start working on the sleeves. Okay, so I don't know if my sewing machine has a gathering stitch. I just used the widest straight stitch that I could find. I need to look at the manual and figure it out. But because this is a little bit bigger, I did sew what I thought would be the closest to a gathering stitch. And then I did gather the material right here. So it's going to be right at the edge there. And I wanted to gather it all throughout, but it's not working that great. So I'm kind of improvising. So I'm just going to gather it here on this end too, so that anywhere that there's extra material will be on these two edges. And we'll just see how that looks. Here's the little gathered area where it's pleated, and then the one on this side. So the dress is pretty much done. I'm going to cut the strings off and I'm going to zigzag stitch over these areas here. I don't have a serger, so I'm just going to do that to seal up the edges and iron them flat, and again cut all these loose strings off. And then the last thing I'm going to do is attach the sleeves, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Alright, so I want the sleeves to be puffy, so I'm going to need extra material to puff up the sleeves some more. So first I'm just going to cut the cuff off. I'm just making this up as I go along. Okay, so the two cuffs are cut off. So this one I've already folded, and I'm just going to fold it in half and cut straight down on the half. So this is going to be the main sleeve, but I do need it to be wider, so I'm just going to cut this open. So then I'm just going to cut this open. So fold this in half, and then we're just going to cut this right open here. And then we'll have this like this. So we need this to just be exaggerated here in the middle. So we're just going to attach these pieces together like this. And I'm just going to pin it and then sew it, and then attach these two pieces together like this. Pin it and then sew it. Now I'm going to do the gathering stitch that I tried to do with the sewing machine earlier, but that didn't really work out too good. So I'm just going to sew about 1/4 of an inch in from the edge, and I'm just going to sew like really big stitches going all the way around. And then I'll connect both sleeves to the dress, and then I'll sew them together. Alright, for the sleeve, I'm gonna cut the shoulder back by about 1 inch. So I'm gonna cut this off right here because I want the pleat to start, I want the puffy sleeve to start at the top of the shoulder. Alright, so from the inside of the dress, we're gonna just go like this with the sleeve. So again, this is the inside right here, and we're gonna let the sleeve be on the correct side. So this is the sleeve as it would normally be if you were to put your arm through here, and I'm gonna line up this bottom seam with the bottom of the opening in the dress. So just line this up with this and put a pin there, and then the sleeve is going to be inside here, and I'm going to just smooth it out so it's going to be pretty smooth on the front panel and the back panel, and then I'm going to try to get most of the gathering to be at the top. So I'm just going to pin it going around up the front and up the back part. And now it's hard to see everything, but pretty much at the top, and there's a lot of material here, so we're just going to pull this to gather the material in, and then this is pretty much where the shoulder is, so I'm just going to make sure most of the gathering is happening there, and then continue to smooth it out. The puffiness is probably going to look different on both sleeves, but that's fine. As long as it is there, I think it'll be fine. And I'm just going to try to spread that out evenly and then pin it. Then I'm just going to go and sew them both on, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to make a belt out of some of the leftover pieces. So that just came to me real quick, so stay tuned for that. I don't know how I'm going to finish the sleeve, but I mean as far as like the final part, but in order to close up these rough edges. I'm going to fold this over, and then I'm going to fold it over again. I'm going to take this to the ironing board and I'm going to iron it. I'm going to do a top stitch here along this line, and then I'm going to do another top stitch just to seal it here. And this is going to be a nice smooth edge. Of course, this is the inside. And then I don't know if I want the sleeve to be wide like this or if I want to taper it in. If I do taper it in, I'll just use a piece of elastic around this inside seam. The sleeves are really billowed out, as you can see there, but I might do something to bring the sleeve in. Right, so this is what I'm doing to make a belt. I'm taking almost every little piece of these two shirts, but this is the neck, the collar that I cut off, and I'm using the sleeves from the top portion dress to make a belt. And what I did here was just take the sleeve and fold it, pinned it down here, pinned it onto this, and these are going to be like the straps that are going to tie in. All I did was take this part, fold it up some, about there, and then fold it the rest of the way up, and then pin it down to this part, and then put the other pins here so that I can sew this and make sure that this part stays folded up. So I had originally intended on adding this pocket to here, but once I put it there, I really don't want it there, so I decided not to add it. So this is the final reveal of the dress. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.